God's voice is something that you need to learn to be able to recognize. And the only way for you to learn how to recognize it is to learn what it sounds like. Hi everyone, my name is Dominika. Welcome to Invisible Mindset YouTube channel. This channel is all about personal development, learning how to love every little part of your life, gaining confidence, overcoming challenges in life, and having that growth mindset. Every week, I'll be teaching you about a new topic. So without further delay, let's get started on today's topic. Hello everyone. Today I want to talk to you about how you can tune into that inner knowing, that voice of God when life feels so difficult, when life feels so loud. Because a lot of the times we don't feel like God is communicating with us. And majority of the times, the reason for that is because we are distracted. The reason why we feel like we don't hear the voice of God is because we are distracted by other things in our life and in our world. So, for example, this could be because we scroll too much, because we always watch something, because we always think about something, because we try to always fill the silence with something. So, I am speaking from experience here because at those times when I felt like God is not talking to me, God is so silent, it was most of the time during those times whenever I was actually distracting myself and filling in the silence with distractions like scrolling, social media, playing music, even if it's something that benefits you. So, for example, you might be listening to something that's motivational, inspirational, right? You are still distracting yourself from hearing God's voice sometimes, even if it's something that benefits your mind. So you have to have a balance between having your life filled with noise and having your life with silence. Because silence can be sometimes so loud, right? It's hard to stay silent because we are so used to always scrolling, having a look at something because we have our phones in our pockets all the time. So it's easy to just start watching something. But you have to understand, if you want to hear more of God's voice and you want to tune into that voice more, you have to allow that voice to speak to you. How do you expect God to be able to speak to you if you're busy all the time? You are not giving him any time in order for him to speak to you. You have so much noise around you, so many distractions that you cannot hear his voice. How can you when you're always occupied with something? So the number one way for you to tune into the voice of God in a much, much more deeper level is by allowing those moments of silence. Allowing those moments of silence is going to be the best thing you do for your life, especially because when the silence comes, God will be able to guide you. God will be able to speak to you. One way to hear more of God's voice is by reading the Bible. It's that simple. When you read the Word of God, you listen to God. So if you feel like God is not talking too much, maybe you need to start talking to Him. Maybe you need to start listening to His voice. Because let me tell you, when I used to be depressed, suicidal, when I had anxiety, all I ever did was focus on the voices in my head, and they were not from God. They were not from God, and I didn't even know where that voice came from. So God's voice is something that you need to learn to be able to recognize. And the only way for you to learn how to recognize it is to learn what it sounds like. How do you expect to learn how it sounds like without talking to God on a daily basis? Right now, my life transformed so much that I talk to God every single day. Every single day, I start off my day with reading the Bible. And on an odd occasion, I don't read it because I run out of time, and I am guilty of that. But every single day, I really, really push myself to spend few minutes with God, to start my day with God. Because otherwise, when I don't do it, my day is just going bad and sideways. My thoughts are not as sharp. So this is how it is. Now, whenever I focus on God on a daily basis, my mind is sharper, stronger, wiser. I know exactly the steps I need to take on a daily basis to grow my business, to help other people change their lives. God literally guides me through every single step. When I get stuck right now, I go straight to God and I ask Him, God, what am I supposed to do here? He gives me the answer right away. God will do the same for you. But how are you expecting yourself to know what answers God is giving you if you don't even allow Him to give you some wisdom to share with you His voice on a daily basis? You don't know what He sounds like if you're not communicating with Him on a regular basis. Because I didn't know how to distinguish between the voice of God or the voice in my own head. Now I know how to do it, and I'm becoming better at it every single day because I am learning, actively learning about who God is and what He sounds like, what He speaks like, how He guides us. So if you would like to have more guidance from God, the same way as I am receiving now, I feel so blessed. This is possible for anybody. I'm not special. I'm not His favorite. This is also available to you. But you have to make that decision to learn about Him, to learn about who He is. And that's how you will be able to distinguish His voice in all of the distractions, in all of the noise. Because sometimes our minds are very, very loud, aren't they? And our own mind will tell us lies. But when you know God, you know what the truth is. You can pick it up very, very easily. So I want you to take a look at your life and really make a decision to get to know more of God. Because your life is going to transform entirely when you know who God really is and when you really talk to Him on a daily basis. Right now, I am getting sales like crazy. I'm signing clients like crazy because of the fact that I am asking God for direction. How do you think I am able to know that this is God's voice telling me what to do? Because I learn about who God is on a daily basis. There is no other way for you to know. When you ask God for an answer and you don't know how He speaks, how He guides, you're gonna ask for an answer and you will ask, but was this really God? But I'm not too sure. God, what do you mean? And you are not gonna be as sharp to go and take the direction that He is leading you to. Because it's so difficult sometimes. As humans, we have our own idea of the path that we should take. But I'm telling you, God's path for your life is the best. 100%. He doesn't want you to fail. All He wants is for you to succeed. And in your own eyes, a lot of the times, it might look differently than in God's. So you try to do things on your own and you fail and then you blame God for it. This was not God. You did not listen to His directions. Okay? But now that you know this, it's not for you to punish yourself for it. It's not for you to think bad about yourself. It's just for you to realize that now there is a better way to do things. That moving forward, you get to make a decision to ask God for direction clearer upon your life. And when you learn about who God really is, how He speaks, how He communicates, your entire life is going to transform. You will be clearer, sharper, wiser. You will know exactly how to sell, how to talk to people, how to have a better relationships. Everything starts with God. God is personal development. I am so passionate about personal development, but guess what? It all starts from God. Literally, it all starts from God. With God. It literally all starts with God. I'm telling you guys, personal development, it's amazing. But with God by your side, your whole life is gonna transform. And if you would love to learn a bit more about this, how to listen to God's voice, even if you don't really know about Him, even if you have some questions, you doubt God maybe in ways, I would love to encourage you to take a look into buying my new book called Her Final Prayer. This is my brand new book, and it's a story about how I got out of depression, suicidal thoughts, anxiety, addictions. It's a story of how God changed my life. It's available on Amazon right now. You can purchase it as an ebook or as a paperback, and you will be able to read more about personal development from somebody who knows God. Because I am telling you, it's different when you are a believer and you're learning from people that don't know who God is. They can guide you, but they can only guide you so far. Versus if you're learning from somebody like me who really is in tune with God and you're a believer yourself, then you need guidance from somebody like me. One way to do so is with my new book. This book has been written from my heart, and it's God telling me what to write. This book has not been all written just by me. This is God sharing His wisdom inside of it. And there are two parts inside of it. One part, it's me, my life without God, how miserable I was, how hard I made my life. And the second part is my life with God. It's as if two different people wrote the book. And if you would like to check it out, as I said, it's called Her Final Prayer. You can have a look at it on Amazon and you will be able to purchase it. But I want to tell you this. Whatever ways you're trying to tune into the God's voice, the best way to do so is by reading the Bible, learning more about Him. The books are great as well. This is another tool that you can use. But always, always, always tune into God Himself. It's free. It's entirely free for you to just ask God for direction, ask God for help, ask God to guide you. But you have to learn the voice of God and you have to turn off all distractions. Stop filling in the silence with noise every single time there is silence. Learn to sit in silence, because in those silences, God is gonna speak to you. God is gonna reveal stuff to you. How do you expect God to tell you something when all the time you're listening to something else? He doesn't even have the opportunity to do so. So allow the moments of silence, and I am telling you, you will be able to hear more of God's voice and you will feel more guided, and all of your life is gonna transform. Because this is how my life changed. I no longer try to fill every single silence with noise. I catch myself on it sometimes, but I say to myself, no, enough is enough. I can put the phone away. I can turn off distractions and I can hear what God is telling me, my intuition, because that's how you will know what to do with your life, what direction you need to take with your business, what mission is there upon your life. Otherwise, you will not be able to figure it out. How are you meant to figure it out if you're watching some cats fighting, or you're listening to somebody talk about their life, or you're listening to music that has maybe even bad lyrics? It's just not gonna work. So stop filling the silence with noise all the time and your whole life is gonna change. So thank you everybody so much for watching another video. If you're brand new here, please subscribe so that you can come back for more. And if you feel like it, you can go and check out my other videos to see what I'm about, because there are some great videos here that you can take advantage of. You can listen to them so that you can learn more about God, more about personal development, businesses, mindset, and all beautiful things. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you on another video. Bye bye.